Everyone, welcome to West Coast Muscle Saws. We're looking at a Husqvarna 460 Rancher, and this morning I want to talk to you about the purge bulb. That can cause a lot of issues on these chainsaws. This one was running erratic, and the customer thought it was a carburation issue. And anyway, let me show you a little bit about these. Basically, the way they're supposed to work, you got a fuel tank, you got your fuel line, fuel filter, carburetor up here, one nipple here, one over here. You got your purge bulb with the nipples on it. The fuel line hooks up to the carburetor. One of these nipples hooks up to the nipple on the carburetor right there. The other one goes back into the fuel tank. And when you pump this, basically all you're doing is circulating fuel from the fuel tank through the circuitry of the carburetor to the purge and then back into the tank. All goes in a circle. A lot of people think those are a primer, and they're not. They actually serve a couple functions. One of them, of course, is to give the saw a fresh charge of fuel when it's cold. And then the other function is when the saw is real hot in the summertime. This actually works to cool the carburetor. If you'll shut the saw off and it's really hot, it has a tendency to vapor lock. And you pump that a few times, and you can see you get a cold charge of fuel from the tank circulating around that carburetor back around the tank, and it makes it less likely to have a vapor lock. Anyway, on this saw, the way these are supposed to function, I've got a carburetor here hooked up, and you pump this and it just circulates from the fuel filter through the circuitry, purge, and then back into the fuel tank. And of course, this was not doing anything. It would just have a little bit of fuel in it. Let me show you what it should do. See that little stream of fuel coming out there? It's circulating completely through it. And this one, what happened is the little valve in there had come loose. It was sitting in there like that. It looked like it was functional, but it's letting that fuel back and forth, creating a similar to a vapor lock or an air leak or something like that, causing some erratic running. And a good indication, of course, these should make a little noise when you pump them, and you should see them fill up with fuel. Now you can also have a pinched fuel line or a blockage in the carburetor, and when you pump on this, it'll just stay in there. And let me squeeze it off so you can see. It just doesn't do anything like it should. It's real slow on the return. Anyway, just a heads up, check those if you're having some carburation issues before you go into the carburetor. If you got a purge system on your carburetor or chainsaw, even your trimmers and stuff all have those on them. And just some good information. You got any questions, there's the information. sawking@hotmail.com, 541-863-5387. Just ask for the chainsaw guy.